This is the Retirement Mentality. Welcome to the channel if this is your first time here. And if you're returning, thank you very much for coming back. Hopefully that's because you found value in one of my previous videos. This is a place where we want to change your mentality about retirement. Retirement doesn't work the way that it did when your parents worked towards retirement or when they retired. You don't work for 40 years and get the gold watch and the pension and retire happily ever after. Now you've got to create your own destiny. You've got to create passive income, create your own wealth. People are trying to do it faster. They're trying to do it earlier. There's the FIRE movement. I'm going to do some videos on that. I just did one on the FIRE movement is dead. You should check that out because I'm changing the way people think about the FIRE movement also. But my last video that I just did was called How I Went Broke. And I kind of went over what happened in 2008 and how I lost everything investing in real estate. I'll link to it up here. And in this video, I want to show you how I turned it all around. I did go broke in 2008. I lost everything. I had 3 foreclosures. The bank took the house I was living in. They took a flip house I was working on, and they took a commercial building that my office was in. So I've done it all. I reached $1 million in, not net worth the first time around, but I was well over $1 million in debt at 31. And then 2008 happened and I lost it all. And now I've turned it back around. I have a net worth over $1 million. I'm living on a Caribbean island. I did my I went broke video outside so you could see what my actual view looks like. But I'm back in the office now. I never can quite figure out where to shoot these videos. I'm back in the pink room. I haven't shot one on this lovely couch before. We got this fabric when we were in Peru. But anyway, today I'm going to tell you how I turned it all around, how I got back to a net worth back up over $1 million investing in real estate. So if you are wanting to accomplish these things, if you want to invest in real estate, you want to become a millionaire, you want to find out how real estate investing works, you want to see the dangers of it, watch the I Went Broke video. If you want to see how to do it the right way, I learned lessons from going broke, so I've really tried to do it more carefully and learn from the lessons that I learned the first time around. So let's get into it. I'm going to show you exactly what I did right now. It's not easy, but it's simple. So there's just a few simple steps you need to take to do it. And if you're watching this video to see how I went from broke to millionaire, there's a big possibility that you might be broke going, how did this broke ass guy do this? So if you're broke and you want to be a millionaire investing in real estate, there's 2 things you got to do. Number 1, there's more than 2 things, but the first thing you got to do is you got to fix your credit. If you're broke, probably you got late payments, you got bad credit. So the first thing you got to do is get your credit fixed. There's a lot of information out there on the interwebs about how to fix your credit. You can go start watching videos. I had a mortgage company for 10 years and I learned some tricks and tips on how to help people fix their credit. So I have some pretty snazzy tricks. I'll link a video up here. I haven't filmed it yet, so if it's not here yet, it'll be here soon. But I'll put a video together on what I learned about fixing credit, and I'll give that to you guys to watch that. And the other thing you got to do is start saving money. Fix your credit, save money. So do those 2 things. You can't buy real estate with 0 money down, with $500. All that's a bunch of bullshit. You got to start saving money. You got to have money to get into the game. I would say probably about 10 grand is what you're going to need to get into your first property. Even if you're going to do a 3% down, I'm not going to get into the numbers and the loans, but just trust me, fix your credit, start saving money. That's what you got to do before you can even start getting into the real estate game. If you've already done that, if your credit's good, you can qualify for a loan to buy a house and you've got at least 10 grand saved up. Let's skip ahead to the next part of this video, which is buy a damn house. I get so many comments all the time of people who are like, oh, I'm trying to wait until this or wait until that or get a little more money or get a little this, that. Get your credit to where you can qualify for a loan, get enough money to where you can buy a house, and hopefully have a little bit of money in a reserve account to pad yourself. The bank's going to require it anyways. So I'm not going to preach on that right now. But as soon as you're able, buy a house. And if you're able to buy a house, look into buying a duplex or a triplex. This is the best way to get started on your path to becoming a millionaire. If you can buy a duplex or a triplex, then you can rent one side of the house out or rent 2 units out. If you're renting 2 units out, there's a great possibility you could be living for free. The other 2 renters could be paying your whole mortgage or very close to it. Even with a duplex, sometimes you can get that accomplished. The very first duplex that I bought one side rented for enough money to pay the mortgage for the other side. So it is possible to live for free after buying your first property. And then it just becomes easier to save money. After you buy your second property, it's probably paying off most of your mortgage, the house that you're living in. So it just becomes a little bit easier than when you buy your third property. You definitely should be living probably for free at that point, depending on the market that you're in. But it just gets easier and easier, and it just starts to snowball. And all of a sudden, like, you went from being like, I'm broke and I live in a shitty apartment, to I have 3 houses. The other 2 houses are paying for my mortgage. I'm saving 80% of my income now. And you can actually start to see the light at the tunnel that you're going to be able to do this. At this point, it just starts to become a rinse and repeat kind of a situation. Buy a house, save up enough money to buy the next house. I did 1 house per year for 5 years, and I reached financial independence after 5 years. I'll link to that video. It's a little bit more in detail. I'm not going to go too far into the numbers in this. I just want to give the broad sense of how I accomplished it. But watch this video up here called 5 and 5, how I reached financial independence in 5 years, and it kind of breaks it down. And it's like I say, it's not easy, but it's simple. Just, you might be able to buy 2 houses in 1 year or 3 houses in 1 year. You might be able to do it way faster than I did. If you're not starting from broke, maybe you can buy a house and then 6 months later, another house and 6 months later. And depending on what kind of income you've got, you could be able to do this in 2 years or 3 years or 4 years. So the model is there of how I did it. You might be able to do it faster. It might take you longer. It might take you 7, 8, 9, 10 years, but it's a lot faster than to do it this way than to just try to live like a hobo under a bridge and save 90% of your income and try to do it the traditional way that the FIRE people do by building up $2.5 million of savings. Most people just can't do that, but you can create. I've created over $50,000 of passive income from real estate. I'm not going to argue with you about how passive it is. It's a lot of work. It is, but I do it from a Caribbean island, and none of my properties are on the island that I live in right now. So you can do it. It's easier to have them when, I had the processes set up before I moved here, but you can do it. It's not that hard. So by the time I actually realized, it's funny how I realized that I had $1 million, that I was a millionaire. It's not as glamorous as it sounds, but I was actually filling out a bank application, and I got to the end of my assets and my liabilities and doing like a financial pro forma sheet. And I was like, holy shit. I was like $1,183. I was like, damn, I'm a millionaire. I was like, look at this. I was like, honey, look, we're millionaires. I didn't have $1 million sitting in the bank, but I had $1 million of equity in my properties. I had good cash flow coming off of it. After going broke in 2008 and having the sheriff come and literally knock on my door and say, Jeff, it's time to get out. And I was homeless and I had no money, and it was traumatic. And to know that I have, at this point, paid cash. My 5th house that I bought, I actually paid cash for it because, like I said, the snowball gets easier to save as you continue on down this road. So I had a house paid for in cash that nobody could ever take away from me as long as I could pay the taxes on it, and $1 million net worth. And I was like, I could sell everything and have $1 million in the bank, but I'm about the cash flow. I'm living off of this money from these rental properties, and it's a big deal to me personally to be a millionaire after going broke. People look at me, nobody thinks I'm a millionaire. I don't live like a millionaire. I still live very frugally. I drive a 2010 Subaru. But we live not meager. I mean, like I said, we're living on an island, but we're frugal. We don't waste money. We'd go on at least one big trip every year. I travel back and forth to Puerto Rico a lot right now because I bought a nice 7th house is in Puerto Rico. We're working on that. I'm sure you've probably seen those videos, and I'm not done yet. I'm still in my building phase. I still have goals that I haven't hit yet. My goal is to get to where I have $100,000 of net income off of my rental properties. So call it passive, whatever. But I'm trying to get to $100K net off of my rental properties before I'm done buying houses. I think I need to buy 2 more houses. We'll see after I get the Puerto Rico house done how well it does in the rental market. But that's my goal. I'm still working. I'm not done yet. I didn't really work last year. I put the wheels in motion to start making money this year. So I've got my real estate license. I'm going to be selling real estate in St. Thomas this year. And we just got our first listing this week, and we got hopefully 2 more listings coming, and we got a bunch of buyer leads coming in off of those listings. So it looks like maybe I'm going to make some money this year. I don't know. Knock on wood. We don't know yet. We'll see. Never count your chickens when you get paid on commission. There's a t-shirt in there somewhere. But anyway, so that is the quick and dirty. Sorry, this is dragging on, but that's how I did it. That's how I got to $1 million net worth from being broke. So I figured since I did the I went broke video, I should do the 0 to $1 million video to show you guys like it's possible. It's not that hard. You can do it. If I could do it from 0, you can do it. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know if this is a strategy that you're working on, that you're after, where you are in the process. If there's anything else I can give you, words of wisdom or encouragement to help you along the way. Thank you for coming along on the journey with me and watching my videos. Hopefully I'm helping you progress on your journey. If you are finding value in these videos, please consider subscribing if you haven't done so. And if you subscribe, ring the little bell down there. And as always, smash that thumbs up button down there, because it does help push this out and maybe it can help more people. So thank you, and we will see you in the next video.